Hello, everybody, from Colonel Field on the campus of Henderson County High School in Henderson, Kentucky. I'm Greg Busby alongside Ben Dempsey and Ryan Monroe. Ben Stone, our video coordinator, as we get you set for Henderson County High School Colonels soccer tonight. The Colonels in the Region 2 semifinals set to take on the Hopkinsville Tigers. Ryan and Ben will have the call for you here on WSON as teams getting their instructions down below. And, of course, you can join us on YouTube as well as our Facebook page and WSONradio.com if you'd like to watch the live video stream tonight. And we'll be on the air with the Colonels tonight and hopefully tomorrow if they get a chance to advance to that championship game. That would be against the UHA Blazers. University Heights defeated Madisonville 2-1 in the first semifinal tonight. So UHA awaits the winner of the Colonels and the Hoptown Tigers. Ryan, I'll bring you in first, just when you've had a chance to kind of break this game down. No, there was a regular season meeting between these two teams. Colonels came away with a 5-2 win there, but about tonight's matchup, what's kind of your first thoughts on this region semifinal coming up?
Well, looking at the path that both teams have taken since they met earlier in the season, Henderson had the 5-2 win here at home. Probably, I think, fourth or fifth game of the season. It was pretty early on. And we could see it then. The counterattack that Hopkinsville brings is something that they're going to feed into and they're going to keep going to, and they can make things happen. As the season went on, Henderson struggled a little bit, played a really hard schedule and kind of took some licks along the way, but Hopkinsville really peaking at the right time, and they played a very hard-fought game last night and ended up with the win to get through here. So we can't sleep on them. It's going to be a really good contest.
I'll bring in Coach Ben Dempsey, kind enough to join us here on WS. When I joked with Ben, I was hoping he'd be a little bit busy tonight, but obviously, you know, a disappointing end of your season, but a good year for a young Lady Colonel team, Ben. But special thanks for joining us here tonight. After I know you'd like to be elsewhere, but a brief comment on your girls' season and kind of your first thoughts on this boys' region semifinal game.
Yeah, you know, obviously, if I was anywhere else right now, I'd rather be supporting Coach Pryor. You know, so it's a great night to be out here and try to get at least another Colonel team back to state, which would be great. You know, I felt we had a good season. We're pretty young, still developing a little bit. We have some kids step into roles that, you know, I think got some really good experiences here. So, you know, I think that the next 2 or 3 years we're going to be really hitting our stride and should be a really big force again in the region. It's a tough one. We were talking about this is the first year where us or Madisonville didn't win the final. UHA just won it against Hop Central 2-1. So it's the first time in about 15 years one of us has not won it. So it's going to be, you know, times are changing, but we'd like to get back to those times again next year. Absolutely.
Always a special moment when you can, one, obviously play for a region championship, win it, but it's even special for an opportunity to get to that game. You've done it so much. Coach Pryor's done it so much. A little bit maybe more pressure on Henderson, you think, just being on their home field tonight?
Yeah, I think so. And, you know, obviously, big crowd tonight. I think there's a little, you know, anxiety in the air that it's always tough in these must-win games that, you know, whoever can settle in first is probably going to be the more successful team tonight. You know, it's the nerves get to everybody, but whoever can settle in first usually is more successful.
We all have our match coming up in about 5 minutes from now. We'll take a timeout here on WSON, hear from our region semifinal sponsors, and be back with more here from Colonel Field, Henderson County against Hopkinsville, and the boys' second region semifinal here on WSON.
When I was asked to join Owensboro Health's board, it felt like a calling. As a board member, I am a voice to the voiceless, bringing their concerns to the table to ensure continuous excellence. You're treated like family, with connection, compassion, and trusted care from neighbors who truly care. I am proud to help ensure that every voice is heard and every patient receives the care they deserve.
It can happen when you least expect it. You're involved in an accident and you need help. Look no further than Hargis Collision. Hargis welcomes all insurance providers. They are ICAR certified and have the equipment needed to get your vehicle back to OEM specification. To the Hargis team, your vehicle is treated like a person, not a number. Hargis Collision, keeping your family's safety in mind. See them at their new location, 1480 South Green Street. You need a new roof? Make the call to Maldonado's Roofing and Siding. They are certified in multiple brands of shingles and offer financing on all projects. They are licensed, insured, and they carry workers' comp on their employees. Honest pricing and guarantee on all work. Danny has over 25 years experience in the roofing and siding industry and has owned his own business for over 22 years. Maldonado's Roofing and Siding. Let the world champ put a world-class roof on your home. Call today, 270-577-9668.
Secure your future with Ann Thrasher Boyd State Farm, providing excellence in life insurance for over 20 years. With us, your legacy is safe. Our dedicated team at 316 14th Street Henderson is ready to guide your journey towards financial security. Don't hesitate. Call us now at 270-826-9583 and embark on a safe, uncertainty-free tomorrow with Ann Thrasher Boyd State Farm.
I am more than the box you put me in. I'm spontaneous.
I am a good friend.
I choose to do the right thing, even if others don't.
I choose to be substance-free.
We aren't alone, and we are done with your boxes.
In life, things aren't scripted.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
You can get a lot out of it.
It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
Number 10, Eric Hernandez. Number 11, Mikel Ramirez.
Welcome back to Colonel Soccer Field here on WSON. The starters being introduced by the voice of Colonel Field, Danny Perkins, in the background. Special thanks to our sponsors of tonight's coverage, Western Kentucky Soccer Academy, Henderson Chevrolet GMC, Ron Monroe of Edward Jones, Royster's Machine Shop, Farmers Bank, and Western Kentucky Development League by MLS Go. We'll take a pause and get you the voice of Danny Perkins finishing up the Colonel's starters.
Number 7, Jack Monroe. Number 8, Alex Bowley. Number 11, Beckham Womack. Number 12, Lincoln Black. Number 13, Gage Leslie. Number 15, Warren Grove. And number 17, Camden Shoemaker. Good luck to both teams.
Danny Perkins from Colonel Field with the starting lineups. I'm Greg Busby. I'll be thanking our sponsors throughout our coverage, but with the play-by-play and color of tonight's game, Ron Monroe and Coach Ben Dempsey.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the semifinal round of the Region 2 KHSAA Boys Soccer Tournament. Tonight we've got Hopkinsville against our Colonels, and for those of you listening and not able to tune into the video, our calls will be reflecting Colonels going from our right to left. Colonels have won the kickoff, so Miles Pryor steps to the ball. And we are in play and underway. First ball comes real long, kind of crossing, over to Zane Hazelwood, unable to bring that down. That gets pushed out wide to the far touch line, challenged by Camden Shoemaker. Hopkinsville getting to the ball, but no real solid possession either way yet. Hopkinsville back to the ball, now driving central, challenged by Jack Monroe, and unable to get the turnover. Hopkinsville now crosses deep into Colonel's territory. Hopkinsville on the ball and picked up very cleanly by Tyler Payne. Oh, I'm sorry, Gage Leslie. And advancing up the near touch line is the Colonels now. Miles Pryor with a great through ball into Jack Monroe, but just a little bit too far out of his reach. Gets to the Hopkinsville keeper and wrapped up, going to be getting distributed now.
And early on especially, you want to try to get settled in, but also make sure you're winning those first balls out of the air, right? If you're the Colonels right away, make sure all those punts, goal kicks, free kicks, those types of things, you send a message early, like these balls right here. Win the first ball, get it down, get back in play pretty quickly. But again, you want to make sure that Hopkinsville is ready. You want to make sure that Henderson, is ready for all those aerial battles tonight.
Absolutely, something that the Colonels have struggled with a little bit this season, but great points across the board. They're going to have to clean that up and gain a little bit more possession, challenging for those aerials. But play is now shifted over to the far touch line, right around midfield. It's going to be out for a Colonels throw. Taking the throw, I honestly can't see from over here, but ball comes in, headed first by the Colonels, but cleared out cleanly by Hopkinsville. Camden Shoemaker back on the ball, pushes it up quickly, challenged in the air at the midfield, and just a whole lot of aerial going on, but no real possession. Hopkinsville first to bring the ball down, now working the ball to the near touch line. Great step in there by, that is Tyler Payne. Tyler Payne now challenging. Hopkinsville able to win the ball back, drops it to the back line, central, and starts advancing up the field. Hopkinsville now dribbling forward, pushing toward the near touch line. Work back in, looked like a 1-2, but they elected to drop back. Hopkinsville now driving central and big cross over to the far touch line. That's stepped in on by, that's Gage Leslie over there. All right, I had them all twisted up, but out for a Hopkinsville throw. Colonels back on the ball, cleared out by Lincoln Black. And now challenging coming in on Hopkinsville back line. Alex Boley able to get in, gain possession into the box. Drops back to Miles Pryor. Miles Pryor cycling over into the center of the box. And Hopkinsville player even claimed the handball, but that got waved off. And Hopkinsville back getting out of their penalty area. A bit of a serendipitous no call there.
Yeah, and honestly, whenever the player itself also looks at it and says, yeah, no, I didn't mean to, I think definitely definitely hit his hand. I think the conversation really comes back to, I guess, from the referee's perspective, if it was, I guess intentional or not. I don't know if that factors in or how close it was to the body, things like that.
A number of reasons it could have not been called, but being this far away from play and being able to so clearly see a player say, oh my gosh, I am sorry, I just handballed in the box. And the no call, that's different. But just a brief pause here as a little bit of an injury on the play. Miles Pryor went down. Looks like he's just a little bit of a tweak on, I think, his right foot there. But he's up, powering through it. You might hear Coach Pryor down there. Maybe a little bit tougher on those Pryor players, if you will.
I'd say so. You might know them a little personally.
Demands just a touch more.
Probably here and at home. Yeah, and honestly, I get it from the referee's perspective too. 3 minutes into a semifinal game, you don't really want to set the tone early, but.
And here we go. We are in on goal. Ooh, sorry to interrupt there. Yeah, we had a good challenge from Jack Monroe there, able to push a ball forward to Zane Hazelwood, and Zane with the shot goes just wide near post.
And that's awesome, especially if you can get some defense into offense really quickly, hit them on the counter. Especially, I think this is a game, if you can score early, it's going to be a really long night for Hopkinsville.
And that plays right into Coach Pryor's playbook, being such a wild fan of Liverpool, because nobody's perfect. He's going to love to see that counter pressing up there in the attacking third. But goal kick comes out for Hopkinsville, quickly challenged there by Camden Shoemaker. And after a little bit of jostling back and forth, it's out on the far touch line, right at about midfield, and throwing in for the Colonels.
So being a Liverpool guy, do you think he's more like the current coach or Jurgen Klopp?
Oh, he's definitely more like Jurgen Klopp, 100%. But either way, being a Liverpool fan, he's a little bit frustrated because he just got beat by the Chelsea Blues. And as play starts back up, distribution challenged quickly by the Colonels there. Miles Pryor stepping in, got a quick foul call there. It's going to be a free kick coming out from toward the near touch line. Hopkinsville takes it. Oh, nope, that's just resetting it. So Central just getting out of the defensive third.
Early, though, a little bit of confidence, especially coming from the Colonels. A couple early chances from turnovers that you love to see. Hopkinsville, had maybe a minute into the game, connected a couple passes, but really since then the Colonels are starting to grow into the game some.
That's a good thing to see early on as well, as you were saying. Colonels, I think, a little bit, a lot of new players on the team this year, lost a lot of experience. It's been a long time of really settling in and kind of trying to find an identity. And I think that's been something I've noticed throughout the season of just being a confidence killer in general. So them getting out early on a big stage and showing that confidence early on is great to see. But shot came from way far out from Hopkinsville. That went over the net, and goal kick came out from Aiden Bugg. And Colonel's now on the ball. Good little flick toward near touch line from Miles Pryor. Gets out to Alex Boley. Alex Boley challenged and just has to dribble back. Drops to Lincoln Black. Lincoln finds Camden Shoemaker. And good little backline build-up. Not too much there, but Camden looking to play over the top and try to find Miles. Miles unable to get to that ball and cleared out. Hopkinsville doing a good job of clearing their lines there. But the Colonels still bringing the heat. Definitely pushing up quickly and trying to create something early on.
Yeah, there seems to be a matchup on this side of the field that Coach Pryor likes. Alex Boley at the bottom left of our screen here. Seems like he's yelled it a couple times. And number 9 for Hopkinsville here, which is Ethan Fabian there.
Sophomore.
Looks to be a really tough matchup for him going against a senior Alex Boley there. We're hoping that, again, if that's kind of the game plan, if you can get him open and isolated, Hopkinsville's got a high line. I think this ball is going to be on quite a bit for him tonight.
Oh, and as the Colonel's getting out in transition, hard challenge there from number 11 of Hopkinsville, Mikel Ramirez, getting into Warren Grove from behind. Just a foul call there. Going to be a free kick coming in from right at the halfway line over here toward the near touch line, and Camden Shoemaker getting set up for it. Looks like Colonels are stacking a bit more on the right-hand side of the box. Gets played diagonally over. A little bit too much. Gets to the keeper first, but keeper just gets a hand on it and bounces that out. But that was enough to get past the Colonels line. And Hopkinsville looking for that quick transition, but wrapped up quickly by Warren Grove and Tyler Payne. Colonels now getting in. Great cross coming in from the baseline from Alex Boley there, but unable to connect with another maroon jersey. Jack Monroe receives the outlet, finds Tyler Payne. Tyler Payne tries to go back forward, but unable to bust through. Now cycled back to the Colonel's back line, which is pushed up all the way to the halfway line. And Camden Shoemaker finds Zane Hazelwood over on the right corner. Zane finding the cross in. And a really good, with Zane, I can never really tell. Was it a cross? Was it a shot? I mean, he'll take a shot from that. I mean, it's an abysmal angle. I'm not going to put it any other way. But that went over the crossbar for a Hopkinsville goal kick.
The Western Kentucky Soccer Academy is built from the bluegrass and the driving future of the game. WKSA Blues Soccer, forging the future for Henderson County soccer since 2017. Find WKSA online at WKSA.sportsites.com. Go Colonels in charge on from WKSA Soccer.
And as we come back, that's a foul for Hopkinsville. Going to be another Colonel set piece at midfield. And still just getting underway. Both teams settling in. 31-30 left in the first half as Camden Shoemaker gets set. And sounds like Coach Pryor has a few instructions for the top line. But ball gets played in. Bit long, but it had a chance. Ooh, great little just diving grab there by Hopkinsville's keeper.
Yeah, great job there. It looked like he almost hit his head on the post over there. He did a great job just getting the ball out of the danger area. That's also an area, though, if I was Coach Pryor, I'd start really paying attention to any of those shots coming in. Look for rebounds. He seems to be parrying the ball out or just kicking it out to somebody. So, again, I think maybe a rebound goal might be the first goal of the game to open the gates for the Colonels.
Corner kick coming in, and after bobbling off the head of, I believe that was Lincoln Black that got in, went off the bottom of the crossbar, I believe back off Lincoln's head, and then found the top of the net. And that's going to put the Colonels on the scoreboard first with 30:47 left to play in the first. Colonels 1 and Tigers 0. What do we think about that there, Coach?
Yeah, you got up for that one. That's one of those, I'm not sure even in my best days I could jump that high like Lincoln did there. That's a great, powerful header. Obviously over the keeper's head, over defender's head, to be able to get up that high, that's a major threat for Coach Pryor there. That's a great goal to start us off, and hopefully, again, continue the pressure on him.
That was just a real quick sneak in, too, from Lincoln. I did not even see him up getting set for that corner kick, and he came roaring in back post and just got to the perfect spot to get on under that ball. But Colonel's back on the attack after the Hopkinsville kickoff. Zane Hazelwood looked to find a quick transition into either Miles or Boley, and unable to connect. But on the outlet, Zane right in again on that counter press, almost able to get right back on the attack, but Hopkinsville survives that one, deflects out for a Tigers throw on the far touchline at midfield.
Yeah, and talking to Coach Pryor a little bit ahead of time, I know he was, this Hopkinsville team beat UHA, who in the district final, who we potentially would see tomorrow night in the final here at Colonel Field. And one of the things he said is, UHA's coach told him that Hopkinsville sat really deep. They took away a lot of the, dangerous areas for them to play into, and didn't really try to get forward at all. Here's a shots coming in from Hopkinsville there, leads to a goal kick. And so, getting an early goal in this kind of game allows for the Colonels, obviously if you're Hopkinsville, you can't sit back as much anymore and soak up pressure for 80 minutes now. You kind of have to come out and play, which opens up spaces for our attacking players in behind, which you imagine, on the outside of the field right now, Zane on one side and Boley on the other have done a really nice job of putting pressure on their outside backs. I think that's an area of weakness, I think, that if I was the Colonels, I'd continue to go at.
No, I'd agree. It's definitely kept them under pressure all evening thus far, and a threat that they're, acknowledging, trying to keep up with just the pace and physicality of those two players on the wings there. But goal kick coming out from Aiden Bugg, received first by Hopkinsville. Hopkinsville now working to the far side corner, and just a little bit of impatience there. Good pressure and good defending there from Gage Leslie over at right back. That was enough to get their attack locked up, and elected to pop a shot early, wrapped up easily by Bugg. But now Colonel's on the attack after the keeper distribution. A little bit of switch there. Now Miles Pryor out on the right wing, finds it across, lands it almost directly on the spot, but just behind Alex Boley. Warren Grove coming screaming in to keep a challenge there and keep the ball with the Colonels. Now right on the near touch line, almost getting out, but Alex Boley dribbling in, trying to find the baseline, and able to get a deflection off of one of the Tigers right before it went out. It's going to result in a Colonel's corner kick with 27:55 left to play here in the first.
To say time flies, you're having fun. We're already down 2 minutes there.
I'm telling you. So
see if we get good service again. That's half the battle right now. I mean, if you can continue to put the ball in the areas they did last time, it's right over the keeper's head. He doesn't seem like he's coming to get anything out of the air. So if you can continue to put pressure on him.
That one a little bit lower from Zane than the others we saw, but he opened scoring last night with an assist on a corner kick to Warren Grove, looking very similar. And my word, there it is, the connection between Zane Hazelwood and Warren Grove once again. Zane, ball leaks out to the near side. He's still over there on the corner from the corner kick, and just finds another cross over to the far side of the box. And was that Warren? No, I think that was Camden Shoemaker. That'll be his second goal on the season for the senior center back for Henderson County.
In for the Tigers, Jemiah Shanklin.
Going to give us a moment. Our broadcast being brought to you in part by Henderson Chevrolet GMC. It's all treats and no tricks with employee pricing for everyone on new trucks and SUVs at Henderson Chevrolet. That means employee pricing on new Chevy Silverados and GMC Sierras at Henderson Chevrolet GMC.
So play going back in here, but before we get back into the action, Coach Dempsey, I got to ask you, as a former defensive player yourself, seeing the Colonels light it up early with two goals that both came from center backs, that's got to make your heart swell just a little bit.
Just a little bit, and honestly, getting another corner here. I mean, if you're Hopkinsville right now, you got to be reeling a little bit. The last thing you want is more bodies in the box, more balls coming in, and it just makes it really challenging. But obviously, like in these set pieces, they're really, really important this time of year. Throughout the season, a lot of people score on them, but really the postseason is where it's really crucial. UHA scored on the basically 2 set pieces in the first game, and obviously Colonels have 2 in this game as well.
Well, that corner kick did not connect quite as well. Got all the way through the box, but Colonel's back on it. Alex Boley now looks like he's been shifted over to right wing, challenging, getting deep into the corner there. Over on the far touchline, drops it back, finds Miles Google. Miles tries to turn it central, but deflected, blocked by a Tigers defender. And now, after trying to get in, finds Tyler Payne here over on the near touchline, who looks forward up the line, finds Zane Hazelwood again on the baseline, looks to play it central, and looks like it just got out over the end line before he was able to hit across for a waiting Beckham Womack. And that's going to result in a goal kick for the Tigers.
Yeah, and this is where, again, you just got to keep the pressure on. District final, 2-goal lead, kind of late. They took their foot off the gas a little bit, let Webster back into the game. This is, again, where you just got to make sure while you're in the moment, right, while you have momentum, you got to keep putting goals away, right? Don't give them a chance to even have any kind of comeback in the second half. Ideally, if you can get up enough goals, you can potentially rest players in the second half if you score enough. So, again, it gives us a chance right now to see if we can pull out that killer instinct tonight.
Yeah, it's been something that I'd have to say has been a bit lacking for the Colonels this season, as they've, as we said before, kind of struggled to find that identity with a newer team. But looking like a completely revamped team right now. Some activity I've not seen out of any of these guys to this point in the season, and couldn't ask for it to come at a better point in time. But a little bit of a miscue there by Gage Leslie trying to cut outside and finds the feet of a Hopkinsville player, but Hopkinsville now playing in and on a shot. Where are we going to call it? Okay, all right, so just at the very top of the box. Kind of lucky positioning there. Handball call against, I believe that was Camden Shoemaker. So that's going to result in a dangerous area free kick for the Tigers coming in here in just a moment. But also at the same time, that's not an easy shot to hit. That's got to either have a whole lot of up and down or pray that it gets underneath a jumping 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Colonel line.
Yeah, and the idea is obviously if you're a goalkeeper, let the wall take one side, you take the other. As you said, they try to get it up and down and just not enough down on that one.
Edward Jones is a proud sponsor of Henderson County Colonels Soccer on WSON. Call financial advisor Ryan Monroe at 270-827-3381 for all your investment needs. Edward Jones, member SIPC. You can also call Ryan for all your soccer announcing needs.
Well, I appreciate that, and I'm just always happy to get your text or your phone call, Greg. I'm always happy to be here. But back into the action, goal kick coming out for the Colonels, and Zane Hazelwood getting into the box, but just
a long throw in down there.
A desperate kind of clear out there for Hopkinsville. But yes, that's about as close to the corner as you can get without being a corner kick.
Do we have a long throw on the team?
We do. I don't think. Well, Lincoln has a really long throw. Warren not bad there. Finds a good ball in that heads down, and a good little one-touch there trying to sneak it in is Beckham Womack right in the middle of the box, but wrapped up by Raul Rivera for the Tigers. Distribution coming out now.
Good header there from Miles Google.
Great header from Google.
Get up and win the first one, keep the pressure on.
And now Colonel's back on the attack. Warren Grove finds Alex Boley central. Looks like maybe a little contact from behind, either that or he just wanted to try to get a good position set piece there, but drops all the way back to Colonel's keeper, Aiden Bugg. Aiden looking to get out over on the far touch line, but unable to connect. A little miscue there, going to be a throw-in for the Tigers. So what's the biggest danger here in your mind right now, Coach? What do the Colonels have to be cognizant of, and what can make a 2-0 score line suddenly look like it did against Webco in the district final?
Yeah, it's the classic phrase. You think about they always say 2-0 is the most dangerous lead in soccer, mainly because everyone kind of takes their foot off the gas. Everybody stops doing what they did prior to this time period. And then all of a sudden, one moment, Hopkinsville gets momentum back. One chance leads to two pretty quickly. I haven't really seen that out of them so far in this game, that they're going to try to really make a run. But obviously, you get a little bit of momentum. Again, these types of games where your season is on the line with 10 minutes to go, you just never know what those last 10 minutes look like. If it's a 2-0 or 1-0 type game, it just really is difficult. We've on our side of it, we've played a lot of close games in the postseason against teams that might have been better than us at times. We always said if we can get it to the last 10 minutes scoreless or one goal one way or the other, it gives your team a shot. So if you're Hopkinsville, 2-0 maybe isn't the end of the world if you can get to halftime only at 2-0, regroup, get a better game plan, and kind of come back into it a little bit. If you're Henderson right now, it is third goal or bust. We need to make sure we get the third goal and put this game really away.
That's something you and I were talking about. We'll get to that in just a moment. Out the back line there, resulting in a Tigers goal kick coming out with 20:50 left to play here in the first of the Region 2 semifinal. But yeah, the big difference that you could see on the stat sheet prior to the game was, I believe we had Hopkinsville with over 90 goals on the season, and Henderson in a kind of down scoring year, trying to find that rhythm and find some other guys to get on the board with, I believe, just over 50 on the season. And, that I think kind of plays into, comes from a result of Henderson just having a significantly more difficult schedule. But, in terms of player confidence, you've got a Hopkinsville team here that they know they can score goals. They've done it all season, and they've scored a lot of them. And it's come from a lot of different players. So I would agree. Henderson, keep up this tempo and make sure to keep the pressure on is going to be crucial to make sure that they don't slip, give that first one away, and breed even more confidence for a Tigers team that, as time goes by, is going to be reeling more and more.
Yeah, and I think a lot of teams, when you get a 2-0 lead, sit back more defensively and say it's game over. Now they have to come and attack us, and we'll hit them on the counter. I think right now, if you're Coach Pryor, really this is the time where you just you go for the jugular, if you want to say it that way. You just try to make sure that you continue to feed Zane on one side and Alex on the other, whoever gets out there. And again, just make sure that they're continuing to run and wear them down, right? So even if you don't get a third goal, you're at least wearing them down to a point where the second half, they may not have the legs in order to try to get back into the game.
And coming back into play there, a goal kick coming out for the Tigers. Miles Google on the header, took a little bit of a shove in the back. So we've got another Colonel set piece coming from right at the edge of the circle.
So I'd like to see this one go wide first, especially with nobody outside that wide area. This is just a tough angle to kind of get into the box as they're going to score, and as I say that.
That was a terrible call from me. I thought Coach was going to had a little bit more to say there, but yes, the header came in. A couple chances there for the Colonels, just completely untended goal, but unable to get a good angle to shift it and get it pointed toward the back of the net. But dangerous time there for Hopkinsville, having to scramble to save that shot and get out of a bind there. So foul coming out on the Colonels is going to be a free, or maybe it was offside. Going to be a free kick for the Tigers.
I think they called a foul first. I didn't really see much of a foul, but sometimes on those bang plays, all of a sudden it's coming out the other way just to kind of anyway. As
coaches, I think we have a tendency that, especially when it's teams that are wearing our colors, we really don't see fouls. I've been around these boys for a very long time, and I know them. They would not do that. No fouls on the Colonels. So throw in here on the near touchline for the Colonels. Comes in from Tyler Payne. Stepped up too quickly by Hopkinsville and clearing their lines once more, trying to get out of that Colonels counter press. But even as they do and looked like they were going to be getting in on the attack, just some athletic play there from Warren Grove, dropping out and really challenging, keeping possession with the Colonels. Gets all the way over to Gage Leslie on the right side, who tries to find Miles Pryor and is able to. Miles pulls a great baseline pull and finds Zane Hazelwood, but looks like looks like it got just over the end line before he was able to hit that pass to Zane, so that's going to be out for a Tigers goal kick.
Royster's Machine Shop serves Henderson, Evansville, and beyond. RMS has built its reputation on precision, quality, and responsiveness. They specialize in delivering high-performance custom solutions from one-off prototypes to high-volume production. Their advanced capabilities make them the machine parts manufacturer.
That was a banger from Beckham Womack. All of about 30-ish, I'll call that, slightly left of central area of the field, and that's been Beckham's calling card from the 6. Playing as a central defensive mid for a lot of the season. Sophomore, he's started to learn to trust that shot. He's got a powerful shot from distance, and great to see him take that chance. Just saw that there was an opening. Kind of as you were mentioning earlier, looking at the keeper and how we can get past that, just lifted it and found it. I think that one came off the bottom of the crossbar as well.
Yeah. No, honestly, those are the goals you love to see, right? Perfect placement on it, right off the crossbar and in. It actually almost hit crossbar to sidebar as well. So great shot overall. And that's the third goal we've been waiting for. That's that goal right there. While you were talking there, I was watching the body language of the Hopkinsville players. 2 or 3 were on their haunches, just kind of like sitting there waiting, kind of almost to that we know our fate at this point already. And that's what you want to, you hate to say, but that's what you want to see from the Colonel perspective, that going into halftime, they're low on confidence. They're not really they don't have anything going in the game. And again, just kind of continue to put momentum and pressure on them as well.
Yeah, it's a good position for the Colonels to be in right now with 16 minutes left to play here in the first half still. And a little bit of that chippiness starting to come into play, as can be expected. But Beckham Womack, did that bend enough for us to say he bent it like
I think it,
Beckham?
Yeah, I think at our level, from here it looked like it bent.
All right.
All
right.
They should make a movie after it.
We can consult VAR, but I'll say bend it like Beckham.
I'm sure he's named after him, right?
No, definitely not. Definitely not. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, one Dax Womack used to be a goalkeeper, so surely he wouldn't name his child after a goal scorer.
Goal.
And that's a goal for Hopkinsville. Caught us chatting and caught the Colonel sleeping a little bit as well. So a cross coming in, went far post,
and the goal's,
unaddressed.
From Alex Ramirez there.
Unaddressed by the Colonels, and yes, number 7, Alex Ramirez, senior for the Tigers, getting in on goal and just able to tuck it away. So real quick response there from the Tigers. 15-20 left to play now. Colonels still lead 3-1 here in the region semifinal.
Yeah, this is 14th goal in the season as well, so decent goal scorer, and obviously had a really good eye for goal there. Again, that's why we say that third goal is really crucial, right? Even one moment there, the game changes. It turns back into a contest. It still have a little bit of confidence for the Colonels, obviously with a 2-goal lead. But that's the danger on the counterattack for Hopkinsville, is if they get 1 or 2 of those set pieces, that they're dangerous.
Absolutely, yep. And that Hopkinsville transition, it's something that we saw in the first game against them earlier in the regular season. Something we saw again last night as they played against Hopkins County Central in a real back-and-forth match. And Colonels just kind of caught sleeping there and give one up. But not a lack of response from the Colonels. A whole lot of pressure and activity. Colonels not getting complacent, maybe the wake-up call they needed. But shot coming in from I think that was
Alex Ramirez again.
Ramirez again from probably about 25 out. Well-hit shot, just low, and wrapped up by Aiden Bugg for the Colonels. Big punt coming all the way to Zane Hazelwood over on the left wing. Zane challenges for it through getting pressured by 2 or 3 different Tigers, and they elect to just tuck that ball out of play. And it's going to be a Colonels throw-in deep into Hopkinsville's defensive third, with a couple substitutions coming on for both teams. Big throw coming in from Miles Pryor, and Colonels, nobody gets to the ball there, so it gets all the way to the ground, cleared out quickly by Hopkinsville. Camden Shoemaker, first one to the ball, and heads it over to Gage Leslie. Gage with a big high kick, Gets it all the way back over here to the near touch line, trying to find Owen Gillum. And that's touched first by Hopkinsville to go out of play. Throw-in coming from Warren Grove. Tyler Payne.
It's a good switch there.
Great switch all the way across the field over to Gage Leslie. Gage, instead of opening up, goes back to Shoemaker, but Shoemaker gets back out to that far side touchline, finding the feed to Alex Boley. Alex Boley, and they're going to have Alex's number as the Colonel's leading goal scorer on the season, I believe, with right at, if not more than half of the Colonel's goals this year. So he gets pressured quickly by 2 or 3 Hopkinsville players, and he's the last one to touch it as it goes out of play for a Hopkinsville throw-in on the far side.
So they moved Alex Boley quite a bit to, from the left to the right. I almost like to see him come back to the left side again. I felt like early in the game he was starting to grow into it and get a little bit of confidence, and then shifting sides. I just would, give him a different look again. I feel like this side had a good avenue for him to get into, and that's kind of gone away a little bit at this point. I feel like this is still an area where the Colonels can find a little bit of success still, like this moment right here.
Good split there from Miles Pryor on the near touchline, trying to find the feet of Owen Gillum. Owen Gillum unable to get the edge on Hopkinsville's right back there. That's going to be Max Ladd. And Hopkinsville able to get to the ball, but pushes it out of play on the far touchline. That's going to be a Colonel's throw. Gage Leslie with ball in hand. Big throw toward the box. Finds Miles Pryor, who goes up for the header, challenging. Miles Google able to get there on the ball, but unable to find a shot. And clearing lines again are the Tigers. That gets all the way back to Colonel's center back, Lincoln Black, who drops it back to keeper Aiden Bugg. And after a little bit of build-up through the back line, Colonel's right back on the attack. Miles Pryor finds a great ball to Alex. Alex in. And finds a last pass, but just stepped in front of Miles Pryor, who was screaming in center of the box. And that's going to be cleared out the back line and result in a far side corner kick for the Colonels with 11:05 left to play in the first.
Farmers Bank thinks long term, always have, always will. See how that makes all the difference at Farmers Bank, 1555 South Green Street, and online at farmers247.com.
So on the corner, I think that's Warren Grove over there, lefty, and Beckham almost with another one from the top of the box, but unable to strike it. Finds it over to Warren and blocked out by the Tigers, but glances off Warren on its way back out of play. So it's going to be a Tigers throw on the far touchline.
So Zane Hazelwood's going back to the far side on the right. Boley's coming to the left. Boley's coming to the left, so it gives us a chance to see, kind of how the game started. It looks like they're getting back to that part of the rotation in the last 10 minutes here or so. I don't want to predict a goal, but I think a goal is going to come, right? They've shifted him around a little bit. I think that the left side of the field is going to be an area where the last 10 minutes here, I think there's going to be one more chance in the half here for somebody, either Miles or Alex on this side over here.
It's almost like you and Coach Pryor have been around each other for a while. I don't know if he's got the live feed on himself, but
yeah, no, I actually texted him a little bit and was like, "Hey, moving back to the left side real quick. It's a good matchup. We got the aerial view. It's like when you have an offensive defensive coordinator for football in the box. We're just up here. You and I can just be the offensive defensive coordinators.
I like it. Well, I mean he answers your texts while he's in game. He doesn't answer mine. But
yeah, there's not a chance he's even looking at his phone right now.
So cleared out of the back line by the Colonels, gets all the way to the back line for the Tigers, and Tigers push it back right at midfield now, trying to get out, but on no outlet. Real tough challenge there to Zane Hazelwood. No foul call, but Colonels still fighting, keeping possession of the ball. Warren Grove trying to find a split to Alex Boley. Alex gets to the ball first, but unable to get through that back line. Finds Beckham Womack again, who just a little bit too much time taking to tee that one up. Blocked out by the Tigers. Tigers back on the ball and transitioning on the far side of the field. Finding their top line. Cycling back a bit. Still over on the far side. Big booming aerial cross over to the near touch line. And number 9, Ethan Fabian on the ball now, working central, finds a shot but unable to connect with it well. Whole lot of activity getting into the box as Aiden Bugg was trying to get to the ball Hopkinsville trying to get a shot, and a good challenge from, I believe that was Lincoln Black, resulted in just a massive humanity, but no foul call.
That's the kind of moment you don't want this this close to halftime. You know, you get to this point, you've done all right, it's 2-goal lead. All of a sudden, one of those bad moments leads to another goal, and the mood changes right before halftime. You know, at 3-1 going in, still a lot of confidence, a lot of things you can do well, and you know, you adapt a little bit. Number 7 for Hopkins did a good job kind of connecting. He's a senior. He's kind of taken, you know, a little bit more initiative since the couple goals have gone in. I think you sort him out in the second half. I think, you know, continue to put pressure on them offensively. It's going to lead to some good things. But at this point, just making sure they keep the game in front of you.
And, yeah, number 7, Alex Ramirez there. He was one last night as well that just really has the creative freedom to roam and find himself in different positions across the field. A very big contributor for Hopkinsville, no doubt. But Colonel's back on the ball now, finds it to the back line, and through a just not great challenge from Hopkinsville, Miles Pryor able to get to the ball, tries to find it across to Alex Boley, but Boley a little too disconnected on the other side for that ball to get over to. So Tigers back on the ball, and challenging for it centrally there is, I believe, Gage Leslie. Finds Zane Hazelwood over on the far side, and good challenge there by the Hopkinsville left back, but that's going to be out of play, and a throw in right at the half line on the far touch line for the Colonels.
Henderson's got soccer fever. The WKDL powered by MLS Go is bringing Major League Soccer fun to kids ages 4 to 14. Fast, exciting, and open to everyone. Proud supporter of Colonel Soccer and growing the game right here in Henderson. Registration for spring 2026 open soon. Follow WKDL on Facebook and join the action.
And a little bit of some question going on. Yep, just a little bit of substitution pattern confusion there. But got it straight, so throw-in coming on the far touchline for the Colonels with 6:30 left to play in the first. Colonels unable to really possess well there, but Jack Monroe gets in and draws the foul. And going to set up a Colonel set piece from, we'll call that 31.5 yards just to the right side of the central area of the field. Miles Pryor is going to be setting that up. Oh, well, now they had to pull it back. Now we got to call it 32.5 yards.
I also would just say, like, this is where, you know, you get a little bit older. I would still have left the ball there and moved it to the right instead of the left. This is still, it's a tough angle just to get it, again, up and down, and then to kick it right into the wall is also not a good one.
Into the walls, I believe, non-jumping feet.
Yeah.
But
into the wall and then right to the keeper's hands.
Second shot, shot came from the deflection off the wall. Keeper bobbled it up first and able to wrap it up and get out. But some build-up coming now here on the near touch line for the Tigers. Good challenge there from Lincoln Black. Loosens that ball up and able to be ran onto it by Warren Grove. Warren Grove finds it back to Camden Shoemaker, who finds a seam, breaks the back line, and Alex Boley just got to find that shot a little bit earlier. Great job by Raul Rivera there to come off his line and just reduce all the angles for the attacking player with Alex Boley there.
Yeah, he was off his line pretty fast there. I really thought Alex, once he got in behind there, was going to really put that one away. I thought it opened up perfectly for him just to curl it into the back post there.
But on a throw-in on the far touch line for the Colonels now, works back central, and now at the feet of Miles Pryor with back to goal, unable to get something done with it. So now Hopkinsville out, starting to get on the attack. Go from central to the near touch line, trying to find the near side Colonel's corner, and that is cycled out of play by Camden Shoemaker with just under 4:30 left to play here in the first.
Sebastian Clark returns for the Tigers.
After a brief set of substitutions, going to have the throw in, just getting into the Colonel's defensive third by the Tigers. Tigers drop it back on the throw in, and good little bit of juggling there through a number of players, but Hopkinsville still on the ball. Now starting to switch it over to the far side of the field. Looking to attack that corner, but not enough angle on it, so Gage Leslie steps into it and breaks up the attack. Finds the top line for the Colonels early. Alex Boley having to really cut in and challenge for that ball and unable to come away with it. So now Tigers back on the attack, looking to find a seam and break that Colonel's back line. This is where they get dangerous. Good little recycle there, dribbling across the top of the box, looking for a shot in. And that
corner coming as well. I thought it was straight all the way through. Looks like there's a deflection there.
That was so dangerous because through all of that traffic, either A, the deflections, which goalkeepers' nightmares, and 2, there's so many players that were in and trying to get structured and in shape to defend there that I don't think Aiden Bugg really had an eye on it. Didn't look like he reacted to the ball that fortunately was going wide until it was right up about on the 6. But corner kick coming in for the Tigers.
Overshot everybody there.
Little too hard. That looks like it's going to go out the far touch line now for Colonel's throw.
Those are things as a coach that drive you crazy, right? Like you get to the, this type of game, you're down 3-1, 2.5 minutes to go, and you've got a chance to serve it in with all your numbers forward and miss everybody. And in preseason you get it. First 5 games you get it. This point in the season, that's the difference sometimes between playing in the state tournament and not.
It does make you sit there and just scratch your head and, how many times have you done this? But a little bit dangerous play coming in here for the Tigers. A number of Colonels having a challenge for a ball getting crossed in central. On a deflection, Colonel's able to get onto that first. Gage Leslie pushes it up the far touch line, out for a Tigers throw. Tigers now back on the ball. Challenge for by Jack Monroe. Jack gets the turnover, finds Connor Murray now at left wing. Connor dribbling on his own. Getting out quickly over here into the Tigers' half of the field. Deflected, looks like on his last touch, got deflected off of number 14, Sebastian Clark. And that's going to be a Colonel's throw coming from Warren Grove with minute 45 left in the first. So that's dropped back to Lincoln Black. Lincoln Black with the early cross, trying to get over to Alex Boley. Alex unable to get to that ball first, and I didn't see any contact there, but as we said before, we never see contact when it's maroon jerseys, unless it's Madisonville. So foul for the Colonels, and free kick now sent way, way forward by Hopkinsville. Gets all the way to the back line, headed first by Camden Shoemaker. Shoemaker now sprinting all the way out to the near touch line, and out for a Colonel's throw deep in Colonel's territory. Love to see that. And Camden Shoemaker's been playing here and around Henderson for a very long time, and he dealt with a few injuries over the years, but seeing a center back win a header like that and then shift all the way over to cover the wing as well, all in one sequence like that, and that's
that experience that you have, and obviously reading the game well, but also doing whatever it takes to win at this time of year. Covering your teammates or covering ground, whatever it is.
So a little bit of back and forth here. Looks like another throw in for the Tigers here on the near touch line. They're just possessing it. Couple short combinations here. Stepped in on by Jack Monroe once again. Double team coming from Warren Grove. Forces an early shot again from Alex Ramirez. That one definitely bent.
Yeah.
And wrapped up though by Aiden Bugg. And as you hear the countdown coming down, Aiden's going to take the punt. And that is going to end the first half of the Region 2 KHSAA boys semifinal match here at Colonel Field with the score Henderson County Colonels 3, Hopkinsville Tigers 1.
We'll take a time out here from our sponsors. Be back with the halftime scoring after these messages on WSON.
When I was asked to join Owensboro Health's board, it felt like a calling. As a board member, I am a voice to the voiceless, bringing their concerns to the table to ensure continuous excellence. You're treated like family, with connection, compassion, and trusted care from neighbors who truly care. I am proud to help ensure that every voice is heard and every patient receives the care they deserve.
It can happen when you least expect it. You're involved in an accident and you need help. Look no further than Hargis Collision. Hargis welcomes all insurance providers. They are ICAR certified and have the equipment needed to get your vehicle back to OEM specification. To the Hargis team, your vehicle is treated like a person, not a number. Hargis Collision, keeping your family's safety in mind. See them at their new location, 1480 South Green Street. When you need a new roof, make the call to Maldonado's Roofing and Siding. They are certified in multiple brands of shingles and offer financing on all projects. They are licensed, insured, and they carry workers' comp on their employees. Honest pricing and guarantee on all work. Danny has over 25 years experience in the roofing and siding industry and has owned his own business for over 22 years. Maldonado's Roofing and Siding. Let the world champ put a world-class roof on your home. Call today, 270-577-9668.
Secure your future with Ann Thrasher Boyd State Farm, providing excellence in life insurance for over 20 years. With us, your legacy is safe. Our dedicated team at 316 14th Street Henderson is ready to guide your journey towards financial security. Don't hesitate. Call us now at 270-826-9583 and embark on a safe, uncertainty-free tomorrow with Ann Thrasher Boyd State Farm.
I am more than the box you put me in.
I'm spontaneous.
I am a good friend.
I choose to do the right thing, even if others don't.
I choose to be substance free.
We aren't alone, and we are done with your boxes.
In life, things aren't scripted.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
You can get a lot out of it.
It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
When I was asked to join Owensboro Health's board, it felt like a calling. As a board member, I am a voice to the voiceless, bringing their concerns to the table to ensure continuous excellence. You're treated like family, with connection, compassion, and trusted care from neighbors who truly care. I am proud to help ensure that every voice is heard and every patient receives the care they deserve.
Colonel Soccer Field, I'm Greg Busby with Ryan Monroe and Ben Dimson. 3-1, the Colonels lead Hopkinsville at the half of the boys Region 2 semifinal. The winner of this game will take on University Heights, who defeated Madisonville earlier tonight here in Henderson, 2-1. Ryan, just your comments on that first half of the play with the Colonels up 3-1 on the Tigers.
You know, I appreciate it on a personal level. This is the first one of these I have to watch where one of the players out there shares a last name with me, so there was a bit more anxiety than I'm used to, but I'm always anxious for these games. But it was a little different. But they came out very well. As we talked about throughout the first half, a lot of pressure. Kind of met Hopkinsville right where we thought Hopkinsville would be coming out. Hopkinsville's a high-intensity team, a lot of speed, a lot of physicality, and likes to transition quick. And we just did not give them room to breathe. So little hiccup on the defensive side, allowed one goal, but Henderson responded well. I think we really just need to see more of the same in the second half. We cannot come out flat. We cannot come out complacent. Hopkinsville is a team that can put 2 goals on the board very, very fast. So more of the same, lots of pressure, really smothering consistency and not letting them transition, I think will spell success.
First half goals in the first half were Lincoln Black, also Camden Shoemaker, and Beckham Womack. Alex Ramirez had the goal for Hopkinsville. Been important for the Colonels to get started pretty early. First 2 goals in the first 15 minutes of the match. You already said that was kind of a crucial score, 2-0. They got 3-0. Saw the goal come in late there from Hopkinsville, but just your takeaway on this first half of play.
Yeah, I mean, I think getting the third goal is really crucial. At 2-1 going into halftime, this game looks very, very different. I think if you're Henderson County, you have to be happy the fact that As Ryan's saying, we controlled most of the game, kept momentum going forward. I would say that, corner kicks are not always a great stat to keep. I don't remember Hopkinsville having but maybe one corner kick. Some of that comes into like where the game is being played. If there's 10 corners for Henderson, I don't know how many actually was in the first half, probably 5 or 6, but it just shows that most of the game was played in Hopkinsville's half. Right? We kept the ball better. I thought we switched the point of attack really well. I think the next step is kind of Ryan said on air, just that final product has to be a little bit better. If you're going to play a really good team tomorrow again, if you get through this game, if you get one chance on a breakaway or one chance past defenders, it has to go in the back of the net. Obviously, can't just always rely on set pieces. You got to finish those chances in regulation as well.
We'll come back with our second half of coverage of the region tournament semifinal. Henderson 3, Hopkinsville 1. Back with the second half after these messages on WSON.
When I was asked to join Owensboro Health's board, it felt like a calling. As a board member, I am a voice to the voiceless, bringing their concerns to the table to ensure continuous excellence. You're treated like family, with connection, compassion, and trusted care from neighbors who truly care. I am proud to help ensure that every voice is heard and every patient receives the care they deserve.
It can happen when you least expect it. You're involved in an accident and you need help. Look no further than Hargis Collision. Hargis welcomes all insurance providers. They are ICAR certified and have the equipment needed to get your vehicle back to OEM specification. To the Hargis team, your vehicle is treated like a person, not a number. Hargis Collision, keeping your family's safety in mind. See them at their new location, 1480 South Green Street. You need a new roof? Make the call to Maldonado's Roofing and Siding. They are certified in multiple brands of shingles and offer financing on all projects. They are licensed, insured, and they carry workers' comp on their employees. Honest pricing and guarantee on all work. Danny has over 25 years experience in the roofing and siding industry and has owned his own business for over 22 years. Maldonado's Roofing and Siding. Let the world champ put a world-class roof on your home. Call today, 270-577-9668.
Secure your future with Ann Thrasher Boyd State Farm, providing excellence in life insurance for over 20 years. With us, your legacy is safe. Our dedicated team at 316 14th Street Henderson is ready to guide your journey towards financial security. Don't hesitate. Call us now at 270-826-9583 and embark on a safe, uncertainty-free tomorrow with Ann Thrasher Boyd State Farm.
I am more than the box you put me in.
I'm spontaneous.
I am a good friend.
I choose to do the right thing, even if others don't.
I choose to be substance free.
We aren't alone, and we are done with your boxes.
In life, things aren't scripted.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
You can get a lot out of it.
It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
Welcome back to Colonel Field. Second half just underway. Let's get it to Ron Monroe and Ben Dempsey. 3-1 Henderson leads as we start the second half.
And Hopkinsville on the kickoff drops back, but immediately forward, and that's pushed back forward by Gage Leslie. Colonel's now on the ball, dropping back to the back line, getting forward once more. Headed first by Hopkinsville. Beckham Womack, first to the ball off the Hopkinsville header, pops it up, finds Gage Leslie. Good little cut back there to bring the ball out of the air. Drops back to Camden Shoemaker. A little bit of build-up, a lot of that kind of up back through activity from the Colonel's back line there. Trying to find Alex Boley here on the near touch line, deep into the attacking third, but that deflected off of Alex and results in a Tigers throw. Looks like Alex took a little.
It's one of those painful ones below the belt, I think. So I think he'll have to walk that one off there.
Never fun, but he seems to be recovered. So back in here now for the second half for anybody on the radio. This is Colonel's now attacking, moving from left to right. And on the last touch from Hopkinsville, Colonel's throw, thrown in by Gage Leslie, finds a header to Alex Boley. Jack Monroe wins the ball, finds Beckham Womack. That gets over to Warren Grove. Drop back to Camden Shoemaker, all the way over to Tyler Payne, who then finds the full switch finally over to Zane Hazelwood. Big early cross, getting central, deflected by the keeper, and just a tap-in from Alex Boley, who gets in there. That might have been one of the more beautiful sequences I have ever seen from a Colonel soccer team.
Yeah, and obviously, like, ending with a great goal that's probably going to seal the deal. I mean, yeah, obviously you hate to talk too early, but first 10 minutes of halves are really crucial. The first 10 minutes of the first half, the Colonels got 2 goals right away. Second half, right back to where they started.
And just that build-up, the quick, short combinations, work the ball across the field, shift the back line out of position. Once it gets all the way over to the other wing, early cross in, tough for the keeper to handle coming off his line to get to it before speedy Alex Boley here on the right wing gets in. A little bit of a mistouch there, and just a very easy, well-manufactured goal from the Colonels. But
yeah, and that's one of the things we looked at earlier in the game. The goalkeeper parried the first couple balls of the game, and those are moments later on that pay off. If you are Coach Pryor, it's probably something you talk about at halftime. Just make sure you follow every rebound, and Alex Boley's there to do so.
Yeah, definitely talked about in the first half, and Colonel's making it happen early there. So surviving a quick attack, and we can hear the displeasure coming from Coach Pryor on some of those miscues from the Colonels defending there, making sure that these Colonels stay in the game and do not relax on this 3-goal lead. But as the Colonels are getting out, foul call taken quickly is the set piece. Jack Monroe first to the ball off of the header from the Tigers. He tries to find Alex Boley. Boley calling for a handball for the Tigers defender, but met with no response. That was cleared out by the Tigers. Going to be a throw-in on the far touchline for the Colonels.
Yeah, and that's tough. I felt like there's a couple moments there where, again, just a potential handball there on the Hopkinsville kid before it got through to Alex Boley. Again, didn't really seem like it. Referee didn't think so, but again, those are those moments too. Now that if you're Hopkinsville, you got to start pushing number forward. Jack Monroe's right here looks like good, real chance on a goal there.
Just like to see him pop that shot a little bit earlier, but again, a little bit of build-up play there from the Colonels. Finds the feet of Jack Monroe on the little flick pass from Miles Pryor, gets him played in, but unable to get the shot off. And now back in play. Ross Plummer in now at right wing, maybe checking on Boley or just resting him up a little bit in case he was still aching a little bit from the earlier contact there. But Ross unable to keep possession of that ball. That's going to get out for a Tigers goal kick with just over 36 left to play here in the second half of the Region 2 KHSAA boys soccer semifinal.
And I really like the run from Jack there on the last little bit. Pick the ball up. Again, just connect to the Miles. Again, there's another one right here, right? If you continue to get some confidence and connect to the forwards, regardless if it leads to goals tonight, it's going to give you some confidence, especially to get involved in the game tomorrow.
Looks like no goal there. And on that last bit of play there, looked like almost the same sequence. A little flick over from Miles Pryor found Jack Monroe. His first touch was a little bit big, and looks like he got dinged up trying to find the outlet pass over to the wing to Zane Hazelwood. So Jack looks like he's being subbed off now. A couple substitutions coming in for both teams. I got Reed Campbell coming in for the Colonels. And looks like it's probably going to be a outside call for the on the Colonels. Is going to result in a set piece coming just at the top of the D as the Tigers try to get out of their own half. A couple players attempting the header, and Camden Shoemaker there on the second ball finds Ross Plummer. Ross unable to bring that ball down out of the air. And it gets stepped in on by the Tigers. Tigers now able to break that back line, get a good shot off, but wrapped up right on the near post there by Aiden Bugg for the Colonels. Surviving another little speedy transitional attack there. That's the stuff that's going to be deadly from Hopkinsville. And if they can put a few of those together, it can put the Colonels in a tough spot. So no rest for the weary here. Colonels got to keep playing with just over 35 left in the second. Miles Pryor now chasing over to the near touch line, able to keep the ball in, try to find Ross Plummer, speeding up the right wing, and Tigers able to step in on that ball. It's going to be cleared out the near touch line for a Colonels throw deep in the Colonels attacking third.
Yeah, earlier this season it finished 5-2 at home, I think. So this game's really kind of shaping up almost the same way. I mean, I wasn't really able to be at that game, obviously being in season, but it feels that way, right? It feels like there's still a lot of goals still in this game. I'd like to see more of like a 6-1 variety versus a 5-2 tonight, but again, I still think there's some goals in this game. It's going to get more stretch, obviously with Hopkinsville having to kind of attack a little bit more late in the game to try to get back into it. They're going to have to take some risk. They're going to have to get more in the attacking end, which leads more space right here for the Colonels on the attacking end.
And now transition for the Colonels as Ross Plummer looking to split the center backs and play in Miles Pryor, but Miles ball a little bit behind him there and unable to come forward with it, but play cycling back toward the central area of the field. Ross Plummer putting some pressure on the Tigers players and able to win a throw-in here on the near touch line. It looks like Bowley's back right as rain. So he's going to be checking back in at right wing for the Colonels throw. Throw coming in. Ooh, good little looping run there, trying to get some Tigers backs out of shape, but unable to connect. Now drop back to the Colonels back line. Building up through that back line, Lincoln Black finds that first probing pass forward, looking for Reed Campbell. Reed Campbell unable to get there first, but great challenge for the ball to keep that pressure up. Now with the Tigers on the ball, having to deal with kind of 1-2 punch coming from Warren Grove and Zane Hazelwood. And finally elect to just push that ball out, and on a bit of an awkward bounce, Tigers player with an arm extended gets called for a handball, and it's going to be a Colonel set piece that looks like a kickoff.
Yeah, and again, this is where I would say if you can get it out here to the near side to be able to serve in a better ball, this is always just a tough ball to play in. It's just a straight ball. There's not really much power you can generate with it. So, again, a lot of times if you can just let everyone get set, play a wide pass, and then serve it, there's a lot more opportunities there for you.
And Colonel's kind of as you predicted there, just not really able to do much from that very central set piece, and that works its way out. Going to be a Tigers goal kick.
The Western Kentucky Soccer Academy is built from the bluegrass and the driving future of the game. WKSA Blues Soccer, forging the future for Henderson soccer since 2017. Find WKSA online at WKSA.sportssites.com. Go Colonels and charge on from WKSA.
And as play resumes here after the Tigers goal kick, Tigers able to get forward. A little bit of a rushed cross/shot from Alex Ramirez of the Tigers. It's going to deflect off Gage Leslie, be out for a Tigers corner kick here on the near side with 31:40 left to play in the second. Haven't gotten to see too much, as you were talking about at halftime there, Coach. Looks like Hopkinsville setting up with a short corner option, but playing a good lofted ball central, headed first by Warren Grove. That's going to go over the crossbar and be out for another Tigers corner kick here again on the near side.
Yeah, if you're Henderson right now, this is where, again, the counterattack will be on. If you can get the ball down pretty quickly off this one.
Ooh, a little bobble there from Bug on the initial header came off. I think that was Warren Grove. Got all the way back down to the ground, and Aiden Bug got hands on it, but was unable to actually hold on to it. So a little bit of a bobble, but wrapped it up quickly. Big punt coming forward, finds Alex Boley. Boley, Alex, you sold that. Looked to play a header over the back line and kind of play himself in there, but got a little bit of contact that he did a decent job of trying to make it look like a lot of contact.
Yeah, I think so. I think, it's
can't blame a guy for trying.
He's been on the ground a few times. I think, it's at some point, you might get one down the road, but also we get the same referees week after week, so they know our players and we know them, and they pick up on those tendencies throughout the season.
I don't know what you're talking about, Coach. I told you once before, I know them. They would not do that.
Never.
But play resuming, and Tigers on a bit of an attack now over here on the near touch line, but intercepted by Reed Campbell. Finds Miles Pryor. Miles Pryor looking to cycle the ball back, and that was stepped in on by a Tigers player, and going to get all the way out the near touch line here. Throwing coming from Gage Leslie. Goes right up the line. And trying to find the head of Alex Boley, but Boley challenged from behind. And it's going to be headed out by the Tigers for another Colonel's throw-in here on the near touch line. A little bit of a swap there. Looks like Gage had to fix his wrist tape, so he didn't want to take the throw in there. And you can't blame a guy for that.
You got to look good. Look good, play good.
I mean, it's borderline dangerous to take a throw in if your wrist tape's coming undone. So
right. You can't take any risks this time of year. Postseason's on the line, games to play tomorrow. You can't take a risk.
So some transition play coming again from the Tigers here. Good centering pass. Building through the attacking third, getting numbers up. And Tigers really creating some stuff there, but every time they're getting that play and able to connect around the Colonel's box area, the trouble is what I keep seeing, Coach, is it looks like they've got a 10, an attacking center mid that's parked there as just kind of a facilitator. And it looks like they've got a line of 5 forwards holding the 18. There's just no vertical shape involved, which is just going to make it very difficult to do anything but hopefully break the Colonel's back line.
Yeah. And I think especially as the game goes on, you're going to see more and more of that probably.
Just a little over-anxious trying to get up and not being so aware of where your teammates are and what your role might be. But they are absolutely still trying to get forward and make something happen here as time ticks by. We've got just over 28 minutes left. Score still Colonels 4, Tigers 1. Activity level definitely still high from the Tigers. There's no sense of quit. There's a lot of sense of urgency, but just a little bit of disconnection making it difficult for them to really create. But
yeah, I don't really feel like the game has changed for them too much. They haven't really, like you said, been too eager to get back in the game yet. They haven't tried new things too much yet. Whereas, there's certain teams we've played, or really you see in the last game in Madisonville, they start putting, defenders into the box for different plays just to be able to get more attackers involved. We haven't really seen that yet. They're still leaving 3 players against Miles here at the back. I would, if I was Hopkins, I'd be pushing number 4 all the way to to Alex Boley's back just to kind of, again, add some pressure on them. They still are 2 versus 1 here at the back. But, again, not really the time to take risk yet, I guess, in his opinion. You still have 27 minutes. The next 5 or 6 are really crucial.
It's all treats and no tricks with employee pricing for everyone on new trucks and SUVs at Henderson Chevrolet GMC. That means employee pricing on new Chevy Silverados and GMC Sierras. Together, let's drive to Henderson Chevrolet GMC and hendersonchevrolet.com.
And as play resumes here, looks like I hope this is just a bad cramp for Gage Leslie, but Tigers on the attack and good bit of class there. Difficult to see that for a team that's down 3, but great to see them being willing to just play that ball out and make sure that Colonels can attend to a player that we've got down. So Gage back on his feet now. Couldn't tell if that was again, a cramp or what was going on there. The tape was coming undone again, so it might be something like that.
Yeah, the tape and the ankles and the legs, there's no telling. To me, it was cramp as well. I mean, I don't know really what anybody else saw, but I felt like kind of went down without any type of contact around him.
Yeah, not really grabbing a knee or anything like that. That would
No,
scary on the non-contact.
In our pristine field, there's no holes out there for anybody to walk into. So
I'm telling you.
It does look good this time of year from here.
We might not do everything right, but we can have a glorious field. But play coming in now. Alex Boley getting in and pops the shot, just getting around the edge of the Tigers defender. Going to go over the net, be out for a Tigers goal kick. But a good bit of play there from the Colonels. Quick strike there from Boley, but unable to find the back of the net.
Yeah, and that's kind of key if you're the Colonel still, right? Like, just as much as Hopkinsville puts pressure on, it just takes one moment the other way to make it 5-1, and all of a sudden, again, this game really gets put to bed. The door is starting to close. We were looking for some way to slam it shut at this point.
Just get the job done.
Yeah.
But now some subs definitely in for the Colonels now, and that's good to see. Getting some guys some minutes that are going to be the future of Colonels teams here, and got looks like Connor Murray in now at right wing. We got Ian Danetta in at right back. All very accomplished players, just younger, newer to the varsity side, but in and getting some of that experience in a regional match.
Which is huge, because I know that we had our region tournament last week on Saturday when we got knocked out, and we had quite a few freshmen that got in the game that you could see the nerves, and it's the first round of the region tournament, right? So sometimes getting that out of the way, kids are better and wiser and more mature the next year. That it's been there, done that type of thing.
And we could definitely see that earlier in the match. I think that early goal for the Colonels really crucial in that it just loosened things up. There was just I don't want to say a sense of relaxation, but allowed guys to play with just more confidence that really made it build from there. But Tigers corner kick, a couple of save moments there for the Colonels, and now a good early cross. Connor Murray, I think that might be off, but if not, he found Alex Boley across the box on the last pass, and we've got a good goal. So that's going to be a hat trick for Alex Boley. Do I have that right? Or is that just a brace? Just a brace. After his hat trick last night, adding 2 more on the board, and from a sophomore, and getting some of his first minutes in a tournament, postseason atmosphere, putting in the work. Zane Hazelwood finds a great early cross over to the other side. Connor Murray really just turning on the jets to get forward and get to that ball, and draws the keeper and really makes just a very wise decision and finds the last pass. That's something that I think took Ted Lasso like 2 or 3 years with Jamie Tart. So.
Right. Yeah. Honestly, you can tell they're well coached. Obviously they're getting to the point in the season where it's all about winning and not about my stats. And so, again, having those kind of moments where a player is willing to give up a chance at a varsity goal in the postseason, that speaks wonders for really where they're going to go this postseason.
Love to see it. And Colonels back on the attack now. Score now, Colonels 5, Tigers 1 with 23:38 left here in the second half of the Region 2 KHSAA Boys Soccer Semifinal here on Colonel Field. Ball last touch by Ian Danetta. Going to be out on the Colonels. Throw in up the near side touchline for the Tigers. Looks like on the first or second or fifth touch there, gets out for a Colonels throw, Ian Danetta. There's your throw-in specialist, by the way. Ian's got a killer throw and goes up the near touch line, but Colonel's unable to maintain possession. Tigers on the ball now. Good bit of play there from Lester Macario, number 8 for the Tigers, working the ball over, completing the switch to the far touch line. Looks like a foul call against the. I saw flags going this way, that way. It felt like the construction over on
everywhere.
On 60.
Everywhere right now. Indiana, Kentucky,
Fair.
Tennessee, probably. Who knows?
Fair.
Everywhere.
It's like that meme. What does it say? Be like the Lloyd. Never stop working on yourself.
Yeah.
But yes.
It's the expressway that just doesn't get you anywhere fast.
Well, Colonel's back in possession now after the call was sorted out there. Again, Colonel's some short combination play, being calm and composed, possessing the ball. Good step in there from the Tigers. Sees Miles Pryor challenging for the ball from behind. Quick little call there for the Tigers. Going to be a set piece coming forward for them.
Edward Jones is a proud sponsor of Henderson County Colonel Soccer on WSON. As they got a ball near the goal. Call financial advisor Ryan Monroe, 270-827-3381 for all your investment needs. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
I swear to you, Zane was trying to hit me with that.
Yeah, I saw. He actually looked. He made eye contact and pointed, I thought. It's like a home run hitter calling a shot. That's what I saw.
I wouldn't blame him. And, Greg, don't you ever stop my ad again just for a ball near the
I almost missed one in the first half. Learned my lesson.
I'm loud enough. If anything goes in, I'll just interrupt you. But ball back in play now. Colonels survive a little bit of a scare, but no.
Is that your pager number, or is that your cell phone number, or what number is that?
That's the office number.
Okay. Well, I just didn't know if I was going to get a direct line, if I was supposed to text that or call that. Or
you would know if you ever called.
Okay.
But, you never do.
I just text.
You're just so busy teaching all the history.
Yeah.
And another through ball look from Connor Murray, and just a
little offsides on the first.
Yeah, and that, can't really blame Boley for that. There was a lot of challenge for the ball on the Tigers' back line there, and just where it drifted and where the backs drifted. Just by the time Murray was able to find the pass, he just found himself offside. But good little bit of play there from the Colonels, just going to result in an offside call and a set piece coming from dead center of the field. For the Tigers, 20:31 left to play here in the second.
So this is always the difficult part of the job. You have all your players that, you ask them to compete for you all the time and work hard and compete and challenge and do all the things. Sometimes that leads to some frustration. Sometimes it leads to whatever, right? We now are probably seeing this game as getting well and truly over with. So it is now focusing all that energy to make sure that you don't get silly yellow cards that could be turned into red cards that would get anybody suspended for tomorrow. And then also making sure that, at this point, Hopkinsville doesn't really have a game tomorrow, obviously, right? So there's a lot more for them to, they're not really worried about results at this point. It might be turns a little bit more pushy or physical. You just don't want to get drawn into those kind of moments. So keep in your head, no cards, nothing stupid the last couple minutes, and see this game out.
Yeah, absolutely. And there we're starting to see, I think, some nod to that from Colonel's coaching staff. Again, some subs cycling in for the Colonels, who have definitely been contributors all season long, but at the same time, just newer to the team and not as many minutes typically. But we've got our new Italian foreign exchange student, Jacopo Manzini, checking in between the pipes.
You've been waiting all day to say that.
Gosh, I have.
How many times did you practice that in the mirror?
I was going to be so mad if Benson didn't get him in the game tonight just so I could say Jacopo Manzini.
Royster's Machine Shop serves Henderson, Evansville, and beyond. Royster's has built its reputation on precision, quality, and responsiveness. They specialize in delivering high-performance, custom solutions, and more. From one-off prototypes to high-volume production, their advanced capabilities make them the machine parts manufacturer and precision machining company you can count on. Royster's Machine Shop, proud sponsor of Colonel Soccer.
You didn't interrupt it when the Colonels almost scored, Greg. Whose side are you on? But it's
a tough crowd here. Really tough crowd. This booth is getting hostile in here.
Still in play. Colonel's great spell of attack there. Saw Alex Boley streaking up the right side, dribbling forward, finds the pass as he's drawn a defender, but Miles Pryor still had a defender on him in the middle and not quite able to connect. But Tigers get forward and end up with a cross. Coming off his line is Mancini, and he's going to have the distribution, booming punt to the middle of the field, trying to find Miles Pryor, who's Swallowed up by 2 center backs. Tigers first on the ball, and now looking to break the Colonels' back line quickly, test some of the fresher backs that we've just brought in. And clearing ball forward from Miles Google, gets all the way to the top of the Tigers box and wrapped up over there by Raul Rivera.
Yeah, you can see Coach Pryor hasn't really taken out the 3 attacking players up front. I think some of that is also just to continue to put the pace up front that, if Hopkinsville tries to get anything, move defenders forward, they're really going to be susceptible to any type of counterattacking opportunity, which, Alex Boley's done a good job on the far side. And obviously with Miles Pryor and Zane Hazelwood still in the game, those are your 3 guys you've relied on for a while. You're not really giving Hopkinsville any plays off defensively, but again, kind of rotating a little bit at the back here.
So now Carter Seward getting on, and going to be a goal kick for the Tigers. Score still Colonels 5, Tigers 1, with just over 16 and a half left to play here in the second half. Goal kick goes a little bit early before the Tigers were able to finish their substitution pattern there, but getting reset and ready to take that goal kick once again.
Without getting too eager, tomorrow shapes up to be a really fun final. Really fun.
Fun?
Fun. I think it's going to be a lot of energy, a lot of excitement on both sides. And
I have very little doubt that it will be that. I'm just, again, getting to that anxiety. Colonel's last matchup against UHA. I think both sides a little bit of a different team earlier in the season when they got together, but Colonels took some punches in that one. Ended up
literally and figuratively, right?
It was one I was not able to make, but I saw some things, I heard some things, and it no doubt will be electric. I think the last time I got to see, correct me if I'm wrong, last time Colonels and UHA matched up in the regional tournament was COVID. 2020, when Colonels beat UHA 3-2, and immediately after ended up having to bow out of the tournament due to the COVID regulations and a player on a different team that the Colonels had played testing positive.
Yep, those good old days. Remember those, wild times. Wild times.
Remember taking temperatures on all players as they're getting into practice, and we had those little wristbands.
Sanitizing the ball.
Oh, my Lord. Yeah, man. Glad those days are behind us now until the next plague, of course.
I was thinking they played in the postseason last year.
Did we?
I thought because they beat Madisonville, I thought in the semifinal. I thought UHA was in the final last year as well.
I thought it was Caldwell. Or was it UHA?
Yeah, UHA last year in the final.
Well,
so would have finished 6-1 in the final last year.
Yep, very different. Great save there by Manzini. Sorry to interrupt. Hopkinsville still laying the pressure on, able to find a bouncing ball to Alex Ramirez again, right at the top of the box. He had a great strike that looked like it. I don't really know how that got saved, but Manzini elevated, knocked it not just down but forward, parried it all the way out of the box to prevent any kind of a rebound. So great work there from a keeper who's just getting in, fresh legs and still not really warmed into the game. So
no, it's tough coming right off the bench. You haven't been able to dive and really catch up to the speed of a postseason game really quickly is difficult to do. I would say what a great luxury to have 2 goalkeepers on the bench, on the roster really, that can step into this type of level, and you don't really drop in quality at all.
No, absolutely. I think the 1-2 punch there, great for both keepers there. But now back in play, Zane Hazelwood here on the near touch line finds an outlet to Miles Pryor over on the right corner. Miles looks to cross it, but Boley had not been able to track all the way up just yet, so ball gets chased a little bit and just tucked out of play on the far touch line. It's going to result in a throw-in deep in the attacking third for the Colonels over on the far side. More substitutions cycling through now. Looks like Warren Grove getting a bit of a break here.
Yeah, again, just these kind of moments now, just you can slow the game down, keep the ball moving. You don't want to get drawn into any type of collision at this point. Just keep the ball moving. Keep it moving.
Well, and these are these are great minutes for the team as a whole. Just not just the team this year, but for future seasons as well. Again, I'm looking across the field here. I think I'm counting 5 sophomores on the field currently, with I believe 6. I almost did it. I believe 6 or 7 that have been out on the field to this point in the match. So, a good shot coming in from Zane Hazelwood, just able to chip Raul Rivera from just outside the D. That's going to be another Colonel's goal with the score now. Colonel 6, Tigers 1 with 12:15 left in the second.
Yeah, and that's on a weaker foot, too, to be able to cut back inside, chip the keeper a little bit, and he was a little bit off his line, but it's a really good goal. And this is, I think if you're Coach Pryor, I don't know if they expected this many goals today. Just kind of talking to him pregame, I think they expect to be a little bit closer. I think there's a little bit of, nerves and pressure being, as we said before the game, being the home team and trying to, get off to a good start and all that kind of stuff. Those early goals really set the stage for this game for us.
And just really ties into exactly what you were saying earlier in the match and the importance of that. The first 10 minutes of each half being as defining as they can be really just changes the pace, the tone, the mentality, and Colonel's still continuing to capitalize with a bit over 12 minutes left to play here in the second.
Farmers Bank thinks long-term, always have, always will. See how that makes all the difference at Farmers Bank, 1555 South Green Street, and online at farmers247.com.
And after the Tigers kickoff, a bit of pressure coming from the Colonels. Sees the Tigers push that ball all the way up to the Colonels' back line. That's out on the far side, thrown in now by the Colonels. And I believe we've got Owen Gillum over at left wing now. Looked to turn, but unable to maintain possession. And Alex Ramirez dribbling central, trying to find a crossover to the near touch line. But stepped in on Miles Google. First to win the ball, finds Alex Boley over on the right wing. Challenged by number 4, Gavin Harton for the Tigers. And it's going to be last touched by him and out for a Colonel's throw-in deep in their attacking third on the near touch line.
I've been pretty impressed tonight how often the Colonels have switched the point of attack. Just going from one side to the other, creating those mismatches on one side of the field and be able to take advantage of those. Been really impressed. One of my things I was thinking about in the first half is if you get those 2 goals off corners to start the game, if those are your only goals going into halftime, it's not as dominant of a game. Scoring the goals they have in the second half have been really, really impressive.
And racing off his line there is Manzini. Looked like it's maybe going to be an offside call on a quick transition play there from the Tigers, but Manzini off his line, wraps it up easily, and content with playing with his feet, drops it down, draws the first Tiger attacker, and then plays it up. Able to find Jackson Maddox for the Colonels in at striker. Colonels not able to keep possession. Tigers now challenging for the ball. Beck Womack keeping the pressure on. Results in a bouncing ball. Finding the hand of number 8, Lester Macario for the Tigers. Now this is more, I think, getting to the space that you've been talking about, Coach, where these set pieces get a little more dangerous. Probably still like to see it a little wider.
I would say if you could play Carter right here, who's unmarked on the near side, it's a really good angle. But even this one's still a little bit better of an angle.
That does get through, but challenged by the Tigers. And Tigers now getting out.
It's just tough. Everybody gets excited about free kicks all over the field, but sometimes I'd almost rather just put it back down and play and get it back and going quickly.
I'm right with you on that, Coach. I love to see the variety. A short one when it makes sense, fast when it makes sense, very deliberate when it makes sense, and it just takes the right skill set and players and the right mentality, vision, so on and so forth. And there's some of that exact commentary that you gave earlier. Just a senseless foul by the Tigers. Frustration kicking in, and that's going to be. Looks like Jackson Maddox was on the receiving end of that very hard challenge. Yellow card for the Tigers for number 14, Sebastian Clar. And just that frustration kicking in, and it's high school soccer. But that I think looks like a very advantageous spot, Coach.
I would agree. I would agree. I also earlier said, it felt like there were more goals in this game. We got to 6-1. So I think if we just end the game right now, it'd be great.
I don't know. You might just be latching on to that for a little bit too long. Like, I had it called with 25 minutes left to play.
Yeah. To be fair, it wasn't like a crazy call, but I was hoping for the best.
It was pretty good, though. Pretty good. So
until they score right here.
Lofted ball comes in, and there it is, ruining Coach Dempsey's prediction and ability to brag. Colonels getting on the board again. Score now Colonel 7, Tigers 1 with 9:27 left to play. Great lofted set piece. Didn't get to see exactly who got in on the goal there. Unfortunately, it looks like Tigers keeper Raul Rivera took a little bit of a knock there, but he's up now.
I think some friendly fire there even.
Yeah, doing
yeah, and honestly, you said it before the free kick was taken, right? We've been asking for those better angles, and you get to the wide areas, it just is a really difficult angle for goalkeepers to deal with. You've got defenders coming towards you, attackers coming towards you, and it felt like he ran into his own defender there and led to a chance.
So back in your playing days, what did you favor on setting a wall on something like that? Are you setting your wall toward near post and you're going to cover back post so you can keep a better just set up to more likely where the ball is going to go, or
probably so with that one, yeah, and especially probably not a very big wall either. Depending on how far out it is, it wasn't really a great angle to shoot it. So it just felt like more importantly maybe put one or two there and then have everybody else mark, and then the biggest thing I think is just making sure the defenders stay high enough the goalkeeper can come get the ball. Again, running into each other is the last thing you really want to see at that point in the game. And
good run in there by Ross Plummer. Gets a shot off, but goes over the net and be out for a Tigers goal kick.
Henderson's got soccer fever. The WKDL, powered by MLS Go, is bringing Major League Soccer fun to kids ages 4 to 14. Fast, exciting, and open to everyone. Proud supporter of Colonel Soccer and growing the game right here in Henderson. Registration for Spring 2026 open soon. Follow WKDL on Facebook to join the action. Our broadcast being brought to you in part by the Western Kentucky Development League by MLS Go.
Can we also, we talked about this earlier as well. Now the game's starting to kind of get to our final moments here. The Colonel's record coming into tonight was 9-10 overall. This puts them at 10-10, gets them back to 500, right? This is not a 500 team. What it shows is, it kind of goes back to what we talked about earlier, playing a tough schedule gets you ready for the postseason. A lot of teams shy away from playing games, and Coach Pryor does not. So, it's sometimes there's some there were quite a few downs towards the end of the season in terms of results. But I think at this point, that's why you play those games, to make sure you remember what it feels like to give away a lead late and make sure, hey, we're going to make sure we continue to play to the final whistle. I think even the district final against Webster was one of those games that, you learn from that more than anything. You got the result, and then you learn from it.
Just another set piece there from a decent angle. A good little chip by Miles. Google ran in on and good chance created, but Colonel's unable to connect and find that eighth goal. And as you say that, Coach, this is a group that if you're looking at a stat sheet, we're saying, man, they're struggling to score and they're giving up goals, and it looks like a tough season. It was. I've been along for that ride, and been there for a lot of the matches, and I know it's been a struggle, but we're taking a team that, again, on the stat sheet, you'd be looking at saying they're struggling to score, and they're giving up a lot of goals. And here in the last two games, of course, earlier matches in the regional tournament, but aggregate right now stands at Colonel's 15, opponents 1 in the last two matches, and that comes from being tested and having to go up against those harder opponents, especially through that last stretch of the season.
Yeah, just gets them ready for these kind of moments where you're not going to see a team as good as what they've seen throughout the season. Really in the region tournament, obviously UHA is a pretty talented team as well as Hopkinsville. But Hopkinsville beat UHA last week in the district tournament. So a 7-1 performance against a team that beat the team you play in the final. The only problem with that now is every boy on the team knows it, And so, again, it's now being overconfident that, last year we beat them 6-1 in the final. They just lost to Hopkinsville, so should be an easy game, right? And nothing in this point in the season is easy. So, again, just getting up again tomorrow night to do it is going to be a challenge. 3 nights in a row is a challenge. So Coach Pryor did a good job of rotating a little bit in the second half. And so, again, this probably is best case scenario tonight, getting a chance to rest some players.
Yeah, especially after getting to catch at least the second half of the UHA Madisonville North Hopkins match. Sharon, you're getting there is for another keeper swap. Jesse Greenwell for the Colonels checking in now between the pipes and getting some minutes as he has for the second night in a row now. And the same going on for Hopkinsville. Looks like Landon, oh man, I'm going to mess that up. Baulu? I tried.
That's pretty good. That's all you can do in life.
So some keeper changes now. This is kind of coming to an end activities that we're seeing here in the match. Looks like got number 12, Wilmer Macario, brother of Jason Macario, both in now for the Tigers. Some freshmen getting minutes now as this one winds to a close with just over 5 minutes left to play. And, I think, kind of talking lessons learned along the way and how different games and different scenarios can kind of play into the full extent and success or lack thereof within a season. Even last night's match, while it ended quite well, Colonels end up with the Mercy Rule win, 8-0 with, I believe, 5 minutes left to play. It took a minute for them to get into that game, and really a team that they should have outmatched. Lyon County has played some games rather well this season, and I think from what I saw last night, definitely gave it a lot. Had some very interesting moments that created a little bit of nerviness for me, and I'm sure a few others over in the stands. But what you were talking about, not wanting the Colonels to go into tomorrow night and saying, we just beat a team 7-8, whatever it ends up being to hopefully one that they just beat UHA. It's convincing these guys that the transitive property does not always apply, which is not always the easiest.
It's a dangerous game to scoreboard watch.
Yeah.
You start looking at other scores throughout the state or really throughout the region. None of it ever comes to be the exact score. Obviously you still have to go out and earn it. You still have to go out and play the games.
And we've got 3.5 minutes left to play of this game. Goal kick coming forward for the Tigers. Challenged first by Miles Google. Nice little knee pop there. You don't see that a lot, but well played. Finds Owen Gillum, who I don't think was ready for it to be that quality coming off a knee like that. But that's going to be pushed up the line by the Tigers, out for a Colonel's throw. Over on the far touchline. Score still, Colonels 7, Tigers 1. Ball's back in play now, being dribbled up the far touchline is Owen Gillum. Back to Dre in, now at left back. We got DeAndre Marcellin. Finds his way back to Stinnett Wiggins. Wiggins building through Google at the 6, finds Ian Danetta, and Ian looking to push that last pass up this near side touchline, find Ross Plummer, but that gets challenged and out for a Tigers throw. Tigers going quickly right up the near touchline. Stinnett Wiggins coming over to cover in behind his right back. Header also out. Another Tigers throw. Throw-in comes right to the speeding feet of Reed Campbell. Reed Campbell drops it out, finds Miles. Miles looks to get forward quickly, playing Connor Murray. Tigers, a little bit of nervy play there, trying to get out of their back line. And good little heel flick behind the back there from Connor Murray. Finds Owen Gillum on a good shot, but wrapped up by Landon. We're going to go with Baloo. That's what I'm going to go with.
With a minute 40, minute 30, the first thing Coach Pryor and I were talking about today, this is the last game Hopkinsville Henderson will ever play. The schools consolidate down in Hopkinsville this year, and It's been a really, really, really good rivalry the last decade or so, and obviously really beyond that. But really in the last 10 years or so, Hopkinsville's been pretty successful. They had a little bit of a lull the last few years, but there was a few years in a row they were winning region and being really, really dominant. And obviously, I think they got to a Final Four at their peak, changed coaches, and obviously they're consolidating schools now.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. I had actually, that had slipped my mind until just now, and we were talking about it earlier during the first game of the evening. But that is the end of an era there. With I believe this is the 14th year since the redistricting, and that saw these two in the same region. And I've seen on this field and down in Hopkinsville, just in my time here in Henderson, some very hard fought, very good matches between these two sides. So that time coming to a close, but I can only imagine that the new school setup, at least over time, that's only absolutely going to aid the Hopkinsville soccer programs as they're able to consolidate some of that talent.
Yeah,
and have a bigger population.
For sure, and I think that's where it's challenging to now. If you're Hopkinsville, merge all that together, but I feel like they'll be fine. They'll come out the other side of this really well.
They will, and that will do it here at Colonel Field for the Region 2 boys soccer semifinal. Final score: Colonels 7, Tigers 1.
We'll take a timeout. Be back to wrap things up with Ron Monroe and Ben Dempsey as the Colonels advance to the region final tomorrow. We'll talk more about that after these messages. After the Colonels beat Hopkinsville 7-1 here on WSON.
When I was asked to join Owensboro Health's board, it felt like a calling. As a board member, I am a voice to the voiceless, bringing their concerns to the table to ensure continuous excellence. You're treated like family, with connection, compassion, and trusted care from neighbors who truly care. I am proud to help ensure that every voice is heard and every patient receives the care they deserve.
It can happen when you least expect it. You're involved in an accident and you need help. Look no further than Hargis Collision. Hargis welcomes all insurance providers. They are ICAR certified and have the equipment needed to get your vehicle back to OEM specification. To the Hargis team, your vehicle is treated like a person, not a number. Hargis Collision, keeping your family's safety in mind. See them at their new location, 1480 South Green Street. When you need a new roof, make the call to Maldonado's Roofing and Siding. They are certified in multiple brands of shingles and offer financing on all projects. They are licensed, insured, and they carry workers' comp on their employees. Honest pricing and guarantee on all work. Danny has over 25 years experience in the roofing and siding industry and has owned his own business for over 22 years. Maldonado's Roofing and Siding. Let the world champ put a world-class roof on your home. Call today, 270-577-9668.
Secure your future with Ann Thrasher Boyd State Farm, providing excellence in life insurance for over 20 years. With us, your legacy is safe. Our dedicated team at 316 14th Street Henderson is ready to guide your journey towards financial security. Don't hesitate. Call us now at 270-826-9583 and embark on a safe, uncertainty-free tomorrow with Ann Thrasher Boyd State Farm.
I am more than the box you put me in.
I'm spontaneous.
I am a good friend.
I choose to do the right thing, even if others don't.
I choose to be substance-free.
We aren't alone, and we are done with your boxes.
In life, things aren't scripted.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
You can get a lot out of it.
It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
When I was asked to join Owensboro Health's board, it felt like a calling. As a board member, I am a voice to the voiceless, bringing their concerns to the table to ensure continuous excellence. You're treated like family, with connection, compassion, and trusted care from neighbors who truly care. I am proud to help ensure that every voice is heard and every patient receives the care they deserve.
Henderson County advances to the region championship game with a 7-1 to win over Hopkinsville here tonight. I'll bring in Coach Ben Dempsey. Just your observations, Coach, on the Colonels. Really a bit of a statement region semifinal win. Who came in, took care of business, 7-1 against Hopkinsville tonight.
Yeah, I think early starts to both halves really set the tone for the game. Henderson was really good tonight. They moved the ball well, they transitioned well, and I thought they were defensively really solid outside of the one goal that went in. There wasn't really too many great chances for Hopkinsville. Coach Pryor also did a great job tonight of making sure to get subs in, especially I would say the Region 2 tournament can be a gauntlet at times if you get the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday draw, which we did this year. So we play 3 straight nights. It takes a lot on the body. So, again, getting some extra players into the game to rotate, keep some guys fresh for tomorrow. And, I thought it was a great job tonight. I think when we woke up this morning, I expected maybe it was 5-2 in the regular season. I expected maybe a 3-1 type game. Hopkins was coming off of winning the district, so it really is a statement win to say that we're trying to be the this team in West Kentucky is going to be dominant for a lot of years.
Ryan, you've seen pretty much every game this year. Obviously, pretty sharp here tonight, as you mentioned. You expected to win, but not like that.
Well, and the surprising thing to me is not just the final scoreline, but how it happened. All season long, as we talked about during the game a number of times, it's kind of been a lack of identity. The younger team lost a ton of experience from last season and really trying to find themselves and figure out what works. And you could see it building that in the last few matches there has been a bit more focus on more possession and using short combinations and keeping more of the ball. But they hadn't really put it together of how to use that to actually create opportunities. And tonight, especially the one sequence that I believe it was the 5th goal, worked up all the way from the right wing over to the left wing through just about every player in a Colonel's jersey on the field. That results in just a tuck-in goal because of how much it had moved the Tigers' shape out of the way they wanted to be. So glad to see them putting that together, finding that identity here at the point of the season where it matters most, and hope to see more of it continue into tomorrow night.
And they literally built that identity against a gauntlet. They lost their last 5 matches of the regular season, had a senior night win here in September against Madisonville, then lost 5 straight, including a loss to UHA, who they're going to play tomorrow. With that said, Ben, just kind of your first thought of that region championship match coming up tomorrow when the Colonels meet UHA for the second time.
Yeah, having seen UHA twice so far this week, they're a good team. They've got a couple athletes up front, that score some goals. I mean, they run hard everywhere. They're physical everywhere. So I think really the key for Henderson tomorrow is be able to match intensity. And then, I think the first time the boys played, it was, UHA won 3-1. They scored a penalty kick and 2 corners. And so UHA tonight against Madisonville in the first semifinal scored a PK and a corner. So to me, UHA is probably not going to connect 1,000 passes and break us down defensively. It's going to be a game where, one corner, one free kick leads to a chance, and then they're going to put numbers behind the ball and be really tough to play against. So, again, I think if you get an early goal tomorrow night, it opens up the game big time for us.
Ryan, any final comments about tonight or tomorrow?
Tonight, really proud of the team. Fun game to watch, and glad they came out, got the job done, and taken the next step. Comment for tomorrow, Henderson, you have got to get out in these stands. I posted something on it on Facebook. Y'all got to get out here and support this team. This is a regional final match against what's going to be a very tough opponent, and they travel well. UHA will have a lot of fans here, and trust when I say that they are not quiet about their presence. So please, one ask from me, anybody who gets to see this or hear this, come out, support these guys. They've been working hard all season, and they need to hear you in the stands.
Thank you, Ryan Monroe and Ben Dempsey, for our coverage tonight. Ryan and Ben will be back tomorrow night for the championship match at 7 o'clock. Special thanks to our sponsors tonight, the Western Kentucky Soccer Academy, Henderson Chevrolet GMC, Ron Monroe, your Edward Jones financial advisor, Royster's Machine Shop, Farmers Bank, and Western Kentucky Development League by MLS Go, our sponsors of tonight's region semifinal, where the Colonels beat Hopkinsville 7-1. Ben Stone, our video coordinator. Isaac Thatcher at studio control in downtown Henderson as well. I'm Greg Busby. Good night, everybody.